What if I told you that the next time you're about to give a presentation, walk into a job interview, or face someone who scares you, you could literally rewire your brain's fear response in just 2 minutes, just by changing how you stand? This isn't woo. It's neuroscience. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn exactly how your body controls your brain, why power and fear are locked in a neural war, and a simple experiment that shows you can win that war before it even starts. Your brain has two ancient systems that almost never agree. One is obsessed with survival, it's paranoid, it's fast, and it's in constant scan mode looking for threats. We call it the fear system. The other system is all about dominance, approach, and taking calculated risks. We call it the power system. Most people think you're born with one or the other and you're stuck. But what we've learned in the last 15 years changes everything. Let's talk about the fear system first, because it's the one that usually wins. When you detect a threat, a critical boss, a crowded room, a moment of judgment, your amygdala, which is this almond-sized structure deep in your brain, lights up like a fire alarm. It doesn't think. It just reacts. It floods your system with cortisol, adrenaline, and a cascade of chemicals that put you in freeze-or-flight mode. Your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain, the part that says, wait, maybe this isn't actually a life-or-death situation, gets put on mute. You literally become less intelligent under threat. Your hands shake. Your voice cracks. You make worse decisions. You play small. And here's the thing, your body and your brain are in constant conversation. Your brain sends signals down. I'm afraid, make yourself small. And your body listens, you slouch, you cross your arms, you make yourself physically smaller. But here's what neuroscience discovered that changed the game. That signal goes both ways. What if you could reverse the signal? In 2010, a Harvard psychologist named Amy Cuddy ran an experiment that would become one of the most famous studies in behavioral psychology. She brought people into a lab, and she told half of them to adopt what she called a power pose. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, hands on your hips or arms raised above your head, chest open, for just 2 minutes. Think Wonder Woman. She told the other half to adopt a low-power pose, sit slumped forward, arms crossed, making yourself small, also for 2 minutes. Then she measured their hormones, and here's what she found. The power pose group had a 20% increase in testosterone, the hormone associated with dominance and confidence. They had a 25% decrease in cortisol, the stress hormone. The low-power group, the opposite. Their cortisol went up, testosterone went down. But the hormone story got complicated, and we'll get to that. The really important part is what happened next. She sent both groups into a real situation, a mock job interview or a gambling task with real money on the line. The power pose group took more calculated risks. They negotiated better. They were more persuasive. Poker players who power posed before a game made more money. It worked. Fast forward to brain imaging. When researchers put people in an fMRI scanner and showed them threatening images while they were in an upright, expansive posture versus a slumped posture, something remarkable happened. The amygdala, that fear alarm, showed significantly less activation when they were standing tall. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the rational decision-making part of the brain, lit up more. Your body's posture literally changed which part of your brain was in control. Now, I should tell you, the original hormone story got a bit messy. A few years after Cuddy's study, other researchers tried to replicate the testosterone and cortisol changes, and they struggled. The original findings were smaller and more fragile than they first appeared. Cuddy's team was honest about it. They published a correction. But here's what didn't fall apart: the behavior, the brain imaging, the real-world outcomes. Studies still show that when naturally anxious people adopt an expansive posture before a high-stress social situation, a job interview, a negotiation, a public speech, they perform better. They're more persuasive. They take smarter risks. And the brain imaging is clear. Your posture changes how much your amygdala fires and how much your prefrontal cortex steps in. Here's the mechanism. When you stand tall with an open chest and raised arms, you activate something called your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest branch. This calms the alarm bells in your amygdala. At the same time, the postural feedback tells your brain, hey, we're in a position of power here. Your dopamine goes up a little. Your approach circuits light up instead of your avoidance circuits. It's not magic. It's not that 1 2-minute pose will turn a terrified person into a lion. But it is a genuine neurobiological shift that gives you a small but real edge, especially if you're naturally anxious. And yes, individual differences matter. It works better for some people than others. If you're already naturally confident and low anxiety, the pose might barely move the needle. But if you're someone who tends toward anxiety, who gets small under pressure, who second guesses yourself in social situations, this is for you. So here's what you actually do. Before your next high-stakes moment, before you walk into that interview, that presentation, that difficult conversation, find a quiet place for 2 to 5 minutes. Adopt the pose. Stand with your feet wide, hands on your hips, or stand with your arms raised in a V above your head. Keep your chest open. Feel it. Let your nervous system register. We are in a position of strength. 2 minutes is the magic number from the research, but even 30 seconds helps. You're not trying to trick yourself into being someone you're not. You're giving your brain a signal. You're priming the power circuit instead of letting the fear circuit dominate. Then walk into that situation. You'll notice something. You're a bit calmer. Your thinking is a bit sharper. You take a bit more risk, and often a calculated risk is exactly what you need to win. This matters because most people assume that confidence comes from inside, that you have to feel powerful before you can act powerful. But neuroscience shows it works backward too. Your body can prime your brain. And in a moment where the difference between small and bold is everything, that 2-minute reset can change the outcome. Next time you're about to face something that scares you, try the power pose. 2 minutes. Notice what happens. And if it works for you, tell me in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what situations you use it for. Thanks for watching.